Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sydney Royal Easter Show, to the J.A. Mackay, the Giants Stadium. And we are looking forward to presenting this two-round competition run under Article 273 2.2 plus another myriad of article numbers, which simply means it's 2 rounds. Top 10 will come back from the first round to the second round, or all clear rounds. We have 15 competitors starting in this class. Top 10 back for the second round. They'll carry their faults from the first round to the second round. Winner of the class will be the horse rider combination with the least number of penalties in the 2 rounds and the quickest time in the second round. Time in the first round will rank their order of start in the second round. The bell has sounded. For Lara Christoffel and her lovely horse, Yalambi's Jasmine. Lara comes to us from Bungendore in New South Wales. She is 18 years of age, and she rides the Rory Hovel Yalambi stud bred, Yalambi's Jasmine, training with Isabel Stone and our first horse on course.
Well, in ring number 1, we make a presentation for special class number 74, the best Australian national saddle horse gelding, and the breastplate that has been called forward is breastplate number 1149. The Johnson and Johnson, McNeil and Castle families from Dubbo here in Central West New South Wales and Wainara, Vegas. Congratulations.
Well, Lara Christoffel, time allowed 85 seconds, length of the course 530 metres. And the course is designed by international course designer Mr. Graham Watts, 30 years on the selection panel for Olympic and World Championships and Australian teams. And 2 combinations, again we see 7A, 7B. And then the treble, 9A, 9B, 9C, comes down to the final fence. Safely over the last. 94.20, 94.20, clear jumping. 14 time.
And as you can see them parading off now, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, the best Australian national saddle horse gelding. And congratulations, catalogue number 1149. And they have that beautiful prize rug here today, and a very special thank you. The beautiful prize rug kindly sponsored by John Walker and Associates.
Well, Chase Naylor makes his way out into the arena, and he rides Misty Blue Ego Z. He was 4th here yesterday. Can he get the dream of a dream from Rockhampton? Can he win the class? Chase Naylor and Misty Blue Ego Z.
Well, we make the presentation now in front of the Sydney Royal stand for special class number 688, the champion Shetland pony, stallion, colt, mare, filly or gelding in harness. And it's with great pleasure we call forward catalogue number 1687, Mrs. Lisa Gemmell from Kellyville here in New South Wales, and Zodiac Park Marshal. Congratulations, your champion. And we make the presentation with the beautiful broad ribbon.
So Chase Naylor trains with Brooke Hickey and Brett Hickey at Inverleigh down in Victoria. Born and bred at Rockhampton up in central Queensland, the beef capital of Australia. Chase actually off to the GCT with his partner. Flies out tomorrow. Have a great trip overseas, Chase. Enjoy it. So the course, as we said, Lara jumped clean, but the 14 time penalties, so 13.5 seconds over the time allowed of 85 seconds. Chase Naylor coming down to the final line. Clear at this stage. Come on, Chase. Is this our first clear round? Hey, Sydney, warm those hands up. You little beauty jumps a clear round. Chase Naylor, Misty Blue, Ego Z. No jumping. Oh, actually, 85.64, 85.64. One time penalty. No jumping penalties. A total of 1.64 of a second. Now, there is an opportunity still here for that time to be pushed out. We'll see what our grand jury does. There's much chatter in the box beside us. We'll relay any changes that we have. We won't need it on this one. We can change the time after the first 3 horses, depending on the going. Our course designer measures the course at 530 metres. We're expecting the horses to travel at 375 metres per minute. We welcome out now Jack Barker, junior rider in the last class. He rides Talara Kolchik. He was 4th here on the first day. He was in the money on just out of the money on the second day and 7th on the third day. Can he get back into the placings?
And we invite forward now the reserve champion, Shetland Pony, Stallion Colt, Mare, Filly or Gelding in harness. Catalogue number 1652. Argus Park, Shetland Pony stud from Belgravia here in New South Wales. And Argus Park, Queen of Balmoral. Congratulations.
So Jack Barker, our rider on course at the moment from out of Victoria. Great to see a strong contingent of boys competing here in this year's competition. Rides the Coleman bred 12-year-old mare. In some top jumping. Now, if you've never seen show jumping before, I'll give you a quick update of how it works. Each horse and rider come into the arena on the score of 0. They want to try and jump around the course, jumping each fence in the correct order without incurring any penalties. Rail down, whether you knock one rail or the whole jump, 4 jumping penalties. Exceed the time allowed, you get 1 penalty for every second that you're over the time. Safely over the last, stops the clock, 82.79, 82.79. Just that one rail, 9A, 4 jumping penalties, no time penalties, a total of 4.
And we say a very special thank you, of course, to Miss Ann Sinnott and Miss Jessica Wilson, their sponsorship of the prize rug for the last championship class, which was for the champion, Shetland Pony, Stallion Colt or Mare Filly or Gelding in harness. So we thank you very much. Congratulations, champion. Catalogue number 1687 and your reserve champion, catalogue number 1652.
Well, current Australian junior champion makes her way out into the arena. A horse bred by the Vice President, who we just spoke to a little while ago, Mr. Mark Shembry, with the guidance of Claudia Graham and Chris Chugg. I didn't know that little piece of information. Started by Jen and Nathan Wood, Harvey B and Claire Zilstra. Studying at the ANU down in Canberra, Australian National University. Went down there. She's based with Izzy Stone. Went here in Sydney. She trains with Jamie Winning-Kermond. And the combination out in the arena. Harvey B, current Australian champion, 5th here on day number 1. Picked up a 3rd on day number 2 and 8th here on day number 3. So been in the top 10 each and every day. Can she put herself there again today? Still looking for that elusive clear round. Chase Naylor had the 1 time penalty. Ylambi's Jasmine, Lara Christoffel jumped clean but over the time allowed. Ooh. That's a tough combination to jump there in the middle of the arena. The reason it's tough, one non-jumping stride between each fence, spread fence to a straight fence to a spread fence, really asking the horse to reach over the back rail, then sit up and jump carefully over the vertical. Stands off the final fence through the finish, stops the clock, 78.95, 78.95. That one rail down, 4 jumping penalties, no time penalties, a total of 4. Just having a discussion with the grand jury next door, just checking this time. We'll report if there is any change. Next out into the arena from Collector on the Federal Highway between Goulburn and the nation's capital, just off the northern tip. Time allowed, 86 seconds. Chase Naylor, no jumping penalties, no time penalties, clear round. Lara Christoffel, 13 jumping penalties, 13 time, no jumping, a total of 13. Time allowed, 86 seconds. Chase Naylor is a clear round and guaranteed a spot in the second round. And that means our other 2 riders, 4 faults, don't change their score. Caitlin Staples, KC Spot-a-Bug. She rides Spot, as he's known around the stables, the 17-year-old. Warm blood gelding, born at Collector with Kath and Seth Staples. Produced as a young horse by Seth, handed the reins over to Caitlin to step up into junior and then on to young rider competition. Trains with Grant Hughes in the nation's capital, a full-time horse rider, and she is riding KC's Spot-a-Bug.
Well, we welcome our next, the first of our written answer classes here this afternoon in ring number 1 in front of our member stand. Class number 75 is the answer saddle horse gelding colt or filly, 3 years and under. And in ring number 4 in front of our Vincent Fairfax stand, we are now judging class number 635, our non-hackney horses, over 14 hands to be driven in a sulky, buggy or gig or show vehicle. Welcome our judge this afternoon in our non-hackneys, Miss Desiree Stewart. Our Chief Steward in charge, Councillor Mr Chris Carter, and our stewards, Miss Kay Brennan, Miss Jeanette Dowse and Miss Grace McGlinchey.
Well, safe for the last, a few rails down today. 28 jumping 79.79. No time for Caitlin Staples and KC Spot-a-Bug. Next out into the arena, current Australian young rider champion, former Australian junior champion. She was winner here on the second day. She was 3rd here on day number 3. Jumped a lovely round here in the table C on the first day. Clear, but just not quick enough. So still yet to have a rail down this combination in the first round of competition. A rail in the jump-offs is the only time she's had fault. This is Clemency Hughes from the Hawkesbury Valley, and she rides Diamond B Corvina. Another combination. Trains with Tom McDermott. Diamond B, Corvina and Clemency Hughes, the combination out on the course. Sired by Conquistador, bred by Diamond B Stud. Helen Chug and Amanda Madigan out there at Glossodia, Hawkesbury Valley. This young lady has a property on the banks of the Hawkesbury River in the Richmond area. $82.50, no jumping penalties, no time penalties, clear round for Diamond B Corvina and Clemency Hughes. No jumping penalties, no time penalties. Second horse and rider to guarantee themselves a spot into the jump-off round. Diamond B Corvina and Clemency Hughes. Viva Blue will be the next horse in the arena. 9-year-old side by Vivant. Viva, as she's known around the stables, Viva Blue, is ridden by 17-year-old from Winton in outback Queensland. And she attends boarding school in Toowoomba. And Viva Blue and Simone Sorensen is our combination on course. Sitting around the middle of the field for the show, as we saw in the junior class. Our winner of the competition had yet to feature in the placings. Olivia Price comes to the biggest class on the biggest day for our junior and young riders here at day number 4, the Sydney Royal Easter Show, and she's timed to shine. It's an interesting sport, this sport of show jumping. You can go from hero to zero in a heartbeat, and you can be the one picking up the pieces the day before, and the next day you are king of the castle. Each and every day we come out into the arena. We start on a new slate. We don't carry faults from the day before. In this class, World Championships and National Championships we do. And each and every day at the Sydney Royal Easter Show, we wipe the slate clean. And Viva Blue on a blustery day here in the main arena. It's beautiful and sunny. Warmth in the sun, but that wind does have a bite. My wife at Bungendore said this morning they felt like the wind chill factor would cut you with a knife, and then we discovered that it actually snowed in the snowy mountains overnight. Perisher recording just over 1.5 centimetres of snow. Who just remind us that winter is on the way. That's what that southerly's blowing us here. I'm lucky to have an efficient ring crew, all these fences well and truly sandbagged so they don't blow over. Safely over the last, 83.50, 83.50. 3 rails down, 12 jumping penalties, no time, a total of 12. As we welcome out the victorious rider from the last class, Olivia Price. Travelled up here with Marcel Strapp, her coach, and mum Carolyn Price. She rides Le Bam. Over this, the Graham Watts designed course. "16-year-old rides the 12-year-old gelding. Well, the rules change, unfortunately. Parting company with your horse means you need to be checked by the medico, which unfortunately means you need to leave the arena, and in leaving the arena, you are eliminated from the competition. Once upon a time, that wasn't the case. I remember Jamie Grant fell off before the start, got back on, and won the class. But these days, riders' health and safety is of paramount focus. So, that is a real shame for Le Bam. And Olivia Price didn't even get to the start line. And, that windy condition just playing a little bit of havoc with us, making it a little more spooky than we otherwise may have anticipated. Well, a young lady who has been in the top 5 each and every day. She won the first day. She was 5th on the second day. She won the third day. This is Annalise Wanzi riding Colora Stud St Patrick from the Southern Highlands in New South Wales. Annalise is trains with George Sanna, rides the 13-year-old gelding. KS St Patrick, or Colora Stud St Patrick, started his career with Michelle and Pete Lang McMahon up there in Queensland. It was purchased by James Arkins, who at the time Annalise was training with. She's now training with George Sanna, and this combination have had outstanding success. Paddy, or Patrick as he's known around the stables, is a horse that needs a lot of patience, especially when catching him in the paddock. It's always the way. The really good horses have their quirks and perks. It's what makes them the superstars of the equine world. And Annalise, 19 years of age. And wonderful to welcome her from the Southern Highlands, just a stone's throw away, down here to centre stage. One fence left to go. Have a look at the time. It's not going to be a problem. 82.39. She continues her faultless run here at the Sydney Royal Easter Show. A first, a fifth and a first on the first 3 days. She guarantees herself a spot in the second round of competition with a clear round adding to Clem Hughes and Chase Naylor's clear rounds. Claire Zylstra, the fastest of our 4 falters, is currently in 4th. Talara Kolchik and Jack Barker is currently in 5th place. As we now welcome out Talara Christo and Alexandra Gostello. Fourth in the Australian Overall Championship standings in 2022. Ranked number 4 in Australia today. This is Christo, or Cristello, who is by the famous Cornetta Blinsky, and the same sire line as the famous Crystalline. And of course, some magnificent breeding coming to Australia, thanks to Sophia and Martin Gostello, with the Verbrand lines. And they come to us from Wallabinar, up there in northern New South Wales. Ali and her sister Olivia, 2 very talented young riders. Well, it comes down to this final line. Fences 11 and 12. Just carrying that 4 faults from the Oxer at the in-gate. 4 jumping penalties, 85.82.18 of a second under the time allowed. 4 jumping, no time, a total of 4. for Alexandra Costello and Talara Christo. As we welcome out our Kiwi friend, number 11 in the draw, Georgia Buzzard riding Vitesse.
Well, we have ribbons going on in ring number 1 here this afternoon, class number 75, the answer Saddle Horse Gelding Colt or Filly, 3 years and under. Our winner here this afternoon is catalogue number 1145, Mrs. Melissa Tuma-Webb and Miss Ashley Whiting from Goulburn here in New South Wales, and MJ Luna. In second place is breastplate number 1147, Mr. Paul Davidson and Camelot Minstrel. Congratulations, Paul. Third place, catalogue number 1134, Miss Harriet Collins and Camelot Voodoo Doll. Our fourth place ribbon, catalogue number 1142, Miss Tracy Duddick and Luana Red Velvet. Our fifth place ribbon, catalogue number 1146, Combating Stock Horses and Darcy Shields from Combating here in New South Wales and Combating Downs Cooper. Congratulations, class 75, the answer Saddle Horse Gelding Colt or Filly, 3 years and under.
Well, our international member of this competition out in the arena from Cambridge in New Zealand, in the North Island, and she's riding Vitesse. Thoughts are with our New Zealand comrades over the last couple of months. They've been annihilated with some massive storms and flooding over there. Don't we know how they feel? Georgia been based here in the Hawkesbury since December of 21, training with the Yandu equestrian team. Rides the 11-year-old mare. And this young lady is seen as part of the Equestrian Sports New Zealand Talent Development Squad. One fence left to go, just carrying the 4 jumping penalties. Got a little close to the last, but it stayed there. 82.25, 4 jumping. No time for Georgia Buzzard and Vitesse. Hayden Parker, Talara Spandenberg in the arena.
Well, we have results from ring number 4 as we speak at the moment. Class number 635, the non-hackney horse over 14 hands to be driven in a sulky, buggy, gig or show vehicle. Winner here this afternoon is catalogue number 2092, Mr. Peter White and Mrs. Sue White from Murray Bateman here in New South Wales. Congratulations. And Baroa Rufus. Baroa Rufus is the name of the horse. In second place, catalogue number 2087, Mr. Mark Glendenning from Menangle Park and Glenbourne Star. And third place, catalogue number 2090, Miss Karen Sylvester and Rosie Moon, Psycha Freed. So congratulations. They are the results from class 635, the non-hackney harness horse over 14 hands to be driven in a sulky, buggy, gig or show vehicle.
So an apprentice farrier from Euroa, formerly from Mortlake in Victoria, Hayden Parker, Talara Spandenberg. Another rider with a super show here so far. Third on the first day, second on the second day, second on the third day. And this combination, another one that had been right at the top of the game. Gee, took a long spot to that fence, but very talented, saw a good distance. Talara Spandenberg, bred by Mark Fraser from Talara Stud. Mark Fraser down at Benalla in Victoria. That is a clever pony. Jumped in the double of verticals, very strong. The challenge is, as the rider, to get the horse to the takeoff point. The second challenge is, if you're not quite right, not to get unseated or move around on that horse, because if you move even just a little bit, it puts the horse off balance. Couldn't get away with it at 9A, carrying the 4 jumping penalties. Want to have another rail down this final line. Commentator's curse. Sorry there, Hayden. Safely over the last, stops the clock. 81.39, 81.39. 8 jumping penalties, no time penalties, a total of 8 for Hayden Parker and Talara Spandenberg. Next out into the arena, let's hope her GPS is in sync today from the sunshine, from the Gold Coast hinterland up there at Mount Tambourine, or Tambourine Mountain. We welcome out Fuchsia Chris. She's riding Jewel Diamond. Yesterday, jumping a super round, came around the corner and jumped fence out of order, which unfortunately meant she was eliminated. Fuchsia Chris, member of the Queensland winning team at the National Championships on Jewel Diamond last year. And trains with Becky and Stewie Jenkins. Well, 4 rails down, 16 jumping penalties. 81.96 for Fuchsia Chris and Jewel Diamond. 16 jumping, no time. A total of 16, just 2 horses and riders left to go. Next out, the leading junior rider from 2021. Now here in this young rider competition from Western Australia, Chloe Verstegen riding Sierra Quattro. Chloe Verstegen, Sierra Quattro, second here on day number 1. And just down to the placings on days 2 and 3. Has had great success here at the Sydney Royal Easter Show in 21 and 2022. And resides these days here at Mulgoa on the East Coast. Trains with Richard Lipp and Tom McDermott from Fernhill Equestrian. Hard-working young lady, keen to progress in this sport. Sport of show jumping, it's a tough one. It takes years and years. And if you look, some of our best riders are in their 40s, 50s and even 60s. In fact, our oldest Olympian at the last Olympics was an equestrian rider in dressage. Our oldest Olympian on debut was at Beijing, a guy by the name of Laurie Lever, who was on debut at age 62. You look at Vicky Roycroft, who's represented Australia in the sport of show jumping and eventing, still competing at the top of the sport, and now in her late 60s, early 70s. So these riders, only 16 to 21 years of age, are certainly very early on in their show jumping career. And it is a sport of the ages, and generations can continue at the top of the sport. The skill is about getting your horse to the correct takeoff point, about 1.8 metres from the front of the jump. The skill of the horse is to have the ability to jump that jump. The training comes from hours and hours of perfecting the connection between horse and rider. The more connected or the more in tune you get with your horse, the more at ease you are at making that micro decision to either move up or hold, and to trust each other. And trust them they do. That's our fourth clear round, 83.24, 83.24. No jumping penalties, no time penalties, 4 clear rounds. So, Chloe Verstegen, Sierra Quattro books the spot into the second round of competition. And next out into the arena, we welcome Emily Baldwin riding Twins Ava.
Well, we can see our next class being judged in ring number 1 here this afternoon. This is the Answer Saddle Horse Stallion, mare or gelding, over 16 hands. We'll judge Miss Bronwyn Parker.
Emily Baldwin, Twins Ava. Final combination to go. The third-year veterinary student at Charles Sturt University in Wagga makes her way into the arena, riding Twins Ava, the 12-year-old warm blood mare. It's interesting, that's the third time that fence has come down in spectacular form over here on this western side of the ground. It's the only fence in the shade line from the grandstand. Now, interestingly, horses don't see colour, they just see shade, so darker or lighter, and some colours, like a black or a blue or a really definitive colour, they see really easily. Who one rail down, 4 jumping penalties, 82.25, 82.25 for jumping. No time, a total of 4 for Emily Baldwin. Twins Ava, she'll be back in the second round. She finishes in 6th placing. The 4 clear rounds are definitely there. Annalise Wanzi, Clemency Hughes, Chloe Verstegen, Chase Naylor, Claire Zilstra, Emily Baldwin, Georgia Puzard, Jack Barker. My top 8 that I can see on the screen. I'll get to the other 2 in a moment.
Well, as we can see, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we currently have judging in ring number 1 a beautiful lineup of our answer registered horses for the answer saddle horse stallion mare or gelding over 16 hands. So workouts are being judged here this afternoon with our judge, Miss Bronwyn Parker, judging on conformation and suitability, answer attire, saddlery and presentation, rider's ability, and horses' paces, manners and ability. See our exhibitors with their answer saddle blanket underneath the saddle. The navy blue and red saddle blanket. Exhibitors will also have their answer tire and their answer long sleeve shirt. Need to have riding boots, maybe long or short. Their fawn or light coloured stockman cut trousers or jodhpurs or breeches. We see another very big class. We've had the first heats and our judges selected the horses she is invited back to work out. And our next exhibitor has just completed their workout here this afternoon. And our next exhibitor will come forward to present in front of our judge, Miss Bronwyn Parker.
So the order of go in this second round, Hayden Parker will be first out on the 8 jumping penalties. We will then go through to the next of our riders, the first of our 4 falters. So Hayden Parker first out on carrying the 8. Alexandra Costello will carry the 4, followed by Jack Barker on 4, along with Georgia Pozzard from New Zealand on 4, Emily Baldwin on 4, Claire Zylstra on 4. The first of our clears will be Chase Naylor and Misty Blue Ego Z, Sierra Quattro, Chloe Verstegen carrying 0, Clemency Hughes and Diamond B Corvina. And the battle of the giants in the sport of show jumping in the young rider division. 2 young ladies that have been duelling it out for a number of years. Clemency Hughes and Annalise Wanzi. Last 2 to go. Clem will be 9th out. Annalise will be 10th out. We go over a shortened course against the clock. So it's fences 8, 5, 6, 7A, 7B, 9A, 9B, 10, 11 and 12. So start over fence number 8. That fence that was causing us grief in the first round, sitting on the shade line. It's going to be the first fence, fence 8, for the second round of competition. We then go to fence number 5, the lighthouse fence in the middle of the arena. Then on to 6, the horses' heads in front of the grandstand there in front of the big screen. A hard right-hand turn to the combination. The double of waters, 7A, 7B, the rainbow fences in the middle of the arena. We then come around to 9A, 9B. C has now been removed. 3 fences from home. We finish over fence 10, the glebe huts, down to the light posts at fence number 11. And the final fence on the course for today's show jumping event and the last event for the Group E section, the young riders, class number 913, will be fence number 12, the green and white bench seat with the trees. And the winner of the class will be the horse rider combination with the least number of penalties over the 2 rounds. The time after a second round will be to determine the winner if there's an equality of faults. They'll carry their faults from the first round. 1 rider with 8 jumping penalties, 5 riders with 4 jumping penalties, and 4 riders on the best possible score of 0. The winner of the class, as we said, will come from these 10 horses and riders, dueling it out to try and win the Young Rider Grand Prix at the most prestigious show jumping event in the country, the Sydney Royal Easter Show. 15 of the best have lined up. 10 have been invited back for the final round. And who is going to win the class? Is it one of the top 3 there, Chloe, Clem or Annalise? Can Chase Naylor finally win his first Grand Prix here at the Sydney Royal Easter Show? Or do all of those stumble and one of our 4 falters get there? It is going to be a dramatic, exciting, entertaining afternoon of show jumping, and we are not too far away from our top 10 coming back in reverse seated order in the Class 913, the Young Rider Grand Prix.
Well, we have our next class coming forward to be judged in ring number 4 in front of our Sinclair stand and the Vincent Fairfax stand. And this is special class number 646. Our best sulky or buggy horse. Because our champion of this particular class will receive the Mrs. EMMA Bull Memorial Perpetual Trophy. It is a twin-handled sterling silver bowl raised on an oak base. Donated by a bequest from the late Mrs. Edith May Mary Alice Bull. And was first presented in 1967. Awarded for the best sulky or buggy horse. We have 2 beautiful exhibits coming forward to be judged here this afternoon in this glorious sunshine across our Giants main arena. So all the best to our 2 lovely exhibits for the best sulky or buggy horse for 2023.
Well, the bell sounds. Highest horse on course, carrying the 8 jumping penalties from the first round. Born and bred at Mortlake in the Western District of Victoria. Now an apprentice farrier up at Euroa with Daniel Leach. This is Hayden Parker, Talara Spandenberg. He did that nicely that time, angled through 9A to 9B, gave that horse just a little bit more room, carrying the 8 from the first round. A clear round here will certainly put the pressure on the other horses. 1 fence left to go for the final time this year. Ladies and gentlemen, give young Hayden Parker a big round of applause. Safely over the last 8 in the first round, clear in the second round, 8 over the 2 rounds of competition. .47.55 the time taken, 47.55 and 8 over the 2 rounds of competition for Hayden Parker and Talara Spandenberg. Next out into the arena, we welcome out second rider to go. This will be Alexandra Gostello, Talara Christo. So just making sure everything working up here. If you have just joined us here in the Giants Stadium, welcome this afternoon. A ridden class, a harness class and a show jumping event coming to you from around the grounds. Hope you're enjoying the live stream if you're watching on at home. I tell you, you need to come back next Sunday. We have the Grand Prix show jumping event for our senior riders. Saturday, Sunday next weekend will be absolutely perfect. No excuses not to be here and seeing it live, because there is nothing better than enjoying the Easter show here on the grounds. It is an amazing venue. One of the few times we get to jump in a magnificent stadium like this here. And to sit up here in the grandstand and watch all the action unfold, it truly is a great experience. Well, she carries the 4 jumping penalties from the first round of competition. Jumping a super round, currently ranked 4th in Australia after the National Championships in November last year down at Bonio Park on the Mornington Peninsula. A talented young lady, Alexandra Costello, riding Talara Christo. Well, she gets the bell. 4 jumping penalties from the first round. So a clear round. Under the time allowed, she'll take the lead off Hayden, because he is carrying the 4 jumping penalties, the 8 penalties from the first round. Rail down, she needs to be quicker than 47.55. She knows that she is the first of the 4 falters. She's really going to put a good round here to put the pressure on the other 4 falters and the 4 clear rounds. She straight away makes her intentions known. We're not here to train. This is what we train for years and years. To come out here and compete on the biggest stage in the show jumping circuit at the Sydney Royal Easter Show. We're going to ask questions today that they wouldn't often ask of their horse. Because as we said earlier today, you cannot jump out of a flat gallop. You must keep this horse engaged and collected. Its hindquarters underneath itself. If you get galloping, it gets flat, it jumps like a long jumper, long and flat. Jump like a high jumper. She comes down to the final fence. Oh, got a trigger happy on the button there, the audio team. 50.01 the time taken, 50.01. 4 in the first, 4 in the second, 8 over the 2 rounds, and the rail down means 8 jumping penalties and a time of 50.01, putting her into second place behind Hayden Parker. As we welcome out the next of our riders, this is Jack Barker riding Talara Kolchik.
Well, results are in for class number 78 this afternoon for the Answer Saddle Horse Stallion Mare or Gelding over 16 hands. We make the presentation to our winner this afternoon, catalogue number 1227, Suburban Lodge Show and Training Stables, and the Memelito family from Duran West in Victoria, and Glenn Lee, double shot, taking out first place this afternoon. Congratulations. In second place, catalogue number 1127, Sable Farm and Future Farms from Romsey in Victoria, and Total Fashionista. Our third place ribbon, catalogue number 1065, Mrs. Kay Welsh and Miss Taryn Welsh and Miss Alicia Welsh from Glenorrey here in New South Wales, and Rivendell Jamuka. Our fourth place ribbon, catalogue number 1203, Miss Stephanie O'Connor and Miss Tess O'Connor with Supreme. Fifth place, catalogue number 1209, Miss Tracy Lee Wells and Miss Talia Wells with Asman. And our sixth place ribbon goes to catalogue number 1225, Miss Stephanie O'Connor and Miss Tess O'Connor and the Artican. Congratulations.
So 2 fences left to go, 4 in the first round. Just that one rail down over at the black and white horses' heads on the far side of the arena. He comes down to the final fence from the Mornington Peninsula out of the Lever Equestrian Michelle Strapp Stables. Jack Barker, Talara Kolchik, 52.57. 4 in the first, 4 in the second. A total of 8 over the 2 rounds. And a time 52.57 and currently into 3rd place. Next out into the arena, we welcome our New Zealander, Georgia Buzzard and Vites.
Well, we make the announcement in ring number 4 for special class number 646, a best sulky or buggy horse. And it's with great pleasure we call forward now catalogue number 2087, Mr. Mark Glendenning from Menangle Park here in New South Wales. And Glenbourne Star, congratulations. They also will be receiving the Mrs. EMMA Bull Memorial Perpetual Trophy. And it's lovely to welcome to the presentation area Mr. Warren Coyle to present that beautiful Perpetual Trophy. As we said, first presented in 1967. And Max Pearce and Leah Montefiore were the winners here in 2022 and 2021. Elsa Avery and Crosswinds Al Brennan were the winners in 2019. And back in 2012, it was Kabuya Proprietary Limited, Chesson's Prince William. So they are some of the past winners over the last 13 years. But this year, it's catalogue number 2087, Mr. Mark Glendenning and Glenbourne Star.
Well, unfortunately, parting company after the combination there for Georgia and Vites. She got straight to her feet. She gave a horse a pat, and thank you to a respecting crowd who showed their appreciations for her efforts. She's certainly leaving no stone unturned here at the Sydney Royal Easter Show, but won't feature in our top 5. Just 2 riders left to go on 4 penalties and 4 riders on the best possible score of 0. And the next to those based in the Southern Highlands, although these days spends more time on the banks of the Murrumbidgee in Wagga Wagga in the Riverina. This is Emily Baldwin, currently studying vet science at Charles Sturt, riding the 12-year-old mare Twins Ava. Had just this yellow, orange and white fence, fell to the ground in the first round to pick up 4 jumping penalties, making her way back out to centre stage. Emily Baldwin and Twins Ava.
And we'd also like to say a very special thank you to the previous sponsor of our answer class, the annual trophy for the ridden answer saddle horse, stallion, mare or gelding over 16 hands. We thank John Walker and Associates.
Well, another rider that has that vertical down, coming out of that combination, in just a little strong, getting a little too close to the takeoff point of the second fence. There's 11 metres between those 2 verticals. But, getting there too big, you can't back up to jump the second element. She comes down to the final fence, safely over the last, 4 in the first, 4 in the second, 48.92, 48.92. Puts her into second place at this stage. 48.92. Hayden's Parker's time of 47.55 quicker than Emily. So that puts her into second. Alexandra Costello into third. And Jack Barker into fourth. So, Emily Baldwin. Harvey B now makes his way to centre stage. Ridden by Claire Zylstra. Australian junior champion, stepping out into young rider ranks. She's 18 years of age, currently studying down at the Australian National University in the nation's capital, about 160 metres from where I work at FDC Construction for our Canberra office. Claire Zylstra, Harvey B, making their way nicely over the spread fence. So carries the 4 penalties. Still yet to see one of our 4 falters jump a clear round. She can jump clear. She guarantees herself a top 5 finish. She keeps the pressure then on all of the 4 falters to say they must jump clear. Oh, she got in big over the oxer. Had to work hard to get over the vertical, but she's still clear. Clear. It's our second clear round in the second round. The first of the 4 falters to jump clear. There are 2 fences left to go. Keep your eyes on her, Sydney. Keep your eyes on her. Safely over the last. 5136, new leader in the competition, 51.36. 4 fences in the first round, clear in the second round, 4 over the 2 rounds. That puts her into first place. Hayden Parker now into third. Emily Baldwin into second, I should say. Hey, Emily Baldwin into third. Alexandra Costello into fourth, and Jack Barker into fifth place. And what she's done, she's taken the pressure, that young lady, from her shoulders and said, yep, I had a rail down in the first round, but I've jumped clear in the second. So to the 4 horses and riders left to go, if you have a rail down, I am there to try and take that placing from you. You need to then be quicker than a time, 51.36. Now, a man who won't be thinking about any of that, he'll merely be thinking, you can do it, jump a clear round. Misty Blue, Ego Z, and Chase Naylor. He was 4th here yesterday. He was so close to a win. He had a very good time. He's the first of the clear rounds. He scraped in by the hair of his chinny chin by 0.5 of a second under the time allowed. Chase Naylor, pressure ride here, clear round here. He says to the rest of the riders following him, I'm first, you then need to beat me on time. The tension growing here in the stadium. I'm riding every stride. Legs will be lifting. 3 fences left to go. All still in place, clear in the first round. 2 fences left to go. Come on, Sydney. Come on, Chase. Oh, he's in tight there. He's got to sit back up. He tries to roll on down. New leader in the competition. It might not have been the stylish round he looked for, but it was a sensational clear. 50.58, safely over the last. No jumping penalties, no time penalties. Clear in the first round, clear in the second round. 50.58. The time taken. 4th fastest time on the course so far, but clear first, clear second. And that makes him the one to beat. He now goes into first, Claire into second, Hayden into third, Emily into 4th, and Alexandra into 5th. Jumping out of our top 5 is Jack Barker. Now Chloe Verstegen makes her way to centre stage. So Chase has taken the pressure from his shoulders as he departs down the tunnel back to the collecting ring. And Chloe Verstegen, Sierra Quattro makes their way to centre stage. So if she wants to take the lead, she now must jump clear. Now the added pressure of she needs to be quicker than 50.58. From Western Australia, Chloe Verstegen, Sierra Quattro. Was the leading Helen Rose Memorial Perpetual Trophy recipient for the leading junior girl rider here in 2021. Knows how to be successful on this arena. That was a great turn. So she's come inside. Chase went outside that fence, the green and white vertical. She will have shaved some time off him. 50.58 the time to beat. He comes down to the second last fence. She's got to jump this clear to take the lead. Hey, Sydney, give her a big round of applause. 45.93. She makes her intentions clear. She is 5 seconds quicker than our previous leader. 45.93 and all clear. So she goes into first. Chase now into second. Claire into third, Hayden Parker into 4th, and Twins Ava, Emily Baldwin hanging on to 5th place. 2 horses and riders left to go. And we welcome out now Clemency Hughes. Diamond B Corvina comes straight out of the same stable. Her coach is our previous rider's coach. Tom McDermott is the man who has been helping this young lady for a number of years now. Current Australian Young Rider Champion, ranked number 1 in the country for this division. As we know, rankings mean nothing when you canter through that start line. It's the performance on the day. Diamond B Corvina, Clemency Hughes from the Hawkesbury Valley here in Sydney. So can't take the lead carrying the 4 jumping penalties. Can go into 3rd place. Needs to be quicker than 51.56. Clemency Hughes comes down to the final line. 11's right. Safely up over 10, 12 through the finish line. We'll go into 3rd place. 48.58. 48.458 into 4th place. 8.58. We'll get our paperwork under order here. So my book puts her into 3rd. Harvey B's time 51.36. Next out into the arena. The final horse combination to go. There has been 2 double clear rounds. Can we get the trifecta? Annalise Wanzi. She was the winner here on day 1. She was 5th on day 2. She won here yesterday. Can she go home victorious and reign supreme as our most successful young rider at the 2023 Sydney Royal Easter Show? From the Southern Highlands of New South Wales, Annalise Wanzi. KS St Patrick. Fences left to go. Clear. 2 now. 45.93 the time to beat. Railed down. 4 faults. Stops the clock. 46.85. 46.85. And 4. That'll put her by my book into 3rd place. We'll have the official results for you momentarily, but by my book, congratulations to our Western Australian Chloe Verstegen, Sierra Quattro, Misty Blue, Chase Naylor in 2nd place. With that rider there, making their way out of the arena, Annalise Wanzi, a superb show, picking up another placing in all 4 classes. And in 3rd, we'll have the official results from our judge, Mr. Honar Yu. And sensational class. Congratulations to our winner, Chloe Verstegen, Sierra Quattro. Jake, I'll make my way down into the arena in a moment's time for the presentation, but super round of jumping there. Another exciting class, and we've still got some more wonderful classes to come before the Grand Parade later today.
Yeah, Grand Parade this afternoon, but wonderful show jumping, Tim. And you're in fine fiddle with your show jumping calling here this afternoon.
Oh, thanks, mate. I've had a bit of fun. Sorry, probably deafened your eardrums. Got a bit excited a few times there.
No, all good.
Oh, you wear a headset so you don't have to listen to me.
I'm already deaf anyway.
It's certainly been a lot of fun. Stick with us here. Of course, more action to come in the main arena throughout the afternoon, and that grand parade at 4 o'clock. Rodeo tonight at 6 o'clock will be live streamed again. So if you are watching the live stream, check back to that link. And the RAS of New South Wales YouTube page is the only place you need to go to see all of that information. And that'll be live streamed as well. To all of you watching on at home, hope you've enjoyed the coverage. As we said, come back. There is show jumping here tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m. Then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday and Monday. Guess what, Jake? Every one of those days there is show jumping.
Great news.
Just what you wanted to hear, isn't it?